Holy shit, man. The fantasy genre made for film and television has been through the ringer in previous years. From the highs of Game of Thrones Season 1 to 6, to the lows of Seasons 7 and 8, and the many spin-offs circling the critical proverbial drains. From the abysmal shite of The Witcher, Rings of Powers, and Wheel of Time, every single streaming service of late seems to want the next Lord of the Rings trilogy or Game of Thrones, and Breaking Bad, but never understanding what makes those original IPs beloved by the many. Modern writers and filmmakers have decided that their own agendas need to reflect their own voices, but time and time again, the modern audience never shows up, and ultimately, the tried and tested loyal fans of the IPs leave in droves. The ridiculous overblown budgets, trying to hide the masquerade of terrible story writing along with shoddy set pieces, locations for their world building, and including trying to make everything look like the world we live in today. Not everything needs to look like central London or the Melbourne CBD, or forcefully push the message. However, many independent creators have decided to take it upon themselves to create things that they want to see in media again, and in early 2026 came along the Pendragon Cycle. Originally a trilogy of books written in the late 80s by Stephen R. Lawhead, and heavily inspired by Arthurian legend and historical mythical Britain, the series is extended to 7 books as of 2025, and is now currently a streaming service TV show. Rights to the book series were bought in 2022 by the DailyWire, and soon after casting was announced with relatively unknown British and American actors added to the list. The series, based on the first 2 books in the original trilogy, follows Merlin, played by relatively unknown British actor Tom Sharp, the immortal son of the bard Taliesin and Atlantean princess Caris, or known as the Lady of the Lake in Arthurian legend, chronicling his tragic upbringing, descent into madness and shocking disappearance that led to the legend that surrounds him. Set before King Arthur's birth, Merlin, assumed dead or a myth, re-emerges 75 years after his father's murder in sub-Roman Britain to unite the fractured kingdoms under the threat from Saxon invaders. Now, having never seen anything other than Am I Racist documentary from Matt Walsh, this is the first production from Daily Wire that I've seen outside of this, and my initial thought is, God, not bad, man. Honestly, after watching the first 2 episodes, I wanted to see more about this world. The characters are interesting, and even knowing a small amount of Arthurian legend, the show is engaging enough to keep me wanting to see what the next 5 minutes of the show is going to churn out. Now, it's not totally perfect by any means. Some of the camera work looks amateur for a fantasy show, and some of the actors are definitely overacting inside of it. And I'm sure with a bit more polish or a bit of veteran cinematography work, this would have been hidden a bit better in the editing room. Some of the dialogue gets lost under the acting, but unlike things like modern Star Trek, they aren't layering in modern slang or dropping out of place swearing and F-bombs unnecessarily. However, as a first fantasy show for Daily Wire, while not on the high levels of high fantasy as The Lord of the Rings, or the earlier seasons of Game of Thrones, the show hasn't so far shit the bed. It's pretty decent if you want something out of the mainstream, and regardless of your politics, none of the modern culture war seems to bleed into this show inside of the fantasy world. If you're looking for something different, this definitely could be it. Hello there, and welcome to my channel. I'm the Nightwing. Like many before me, I want to use my voice on this platform to help others seek out some better entertainment in a world muddied by politics rather than focusing on creating a good story. If you like what I do, be sure to subscribe to see more, or like and comment and let me know what you'd like to see me review next. Deus Vult and Ave Britannia, brothers.